Wansu is your first Koru form within the Shuri system. When we work form, when we work any kata, kata is the mainstay of our system. When you work kata, you want to think about the mental performance, running the form, executing the form properly. The next would be the spiritual, or basically using the Japanese language to take an opponent through the techniques itself, the application of the form. The third is the universal, where you're taking multiple opponents without speaking, running the form, and you have various students work with your form. Now, I want to make sure everything's clear with this. When you work kata, there is not going to be in the street. Say if you have some type of street application, one person's not going to stand here, another person's not going to stand here, another person's not going to stand here. These forms were developed by individuals, or in this case, students of a man named Wansu, which is a Chinese missionary. And they developed this form. These were his favorite fighting techniques. And it's easy enough to remember when you work it in a form, continual movements, instead of saying this is self-defense number 1, self-defense number 2, number 3, number 4. So that's why they put these kata together. Then we work with the bunkai level. Bunkai level, you have two types of bunkai. You have the Emote bunkai and the Okuden bunkai. The Emote bunkai is basically what the public sees. The Okuden is more or less the deeper level of working your form. The fifth level would be the Goshindo, or basically street self-defense level. When we want to break that down into 4 components. Stop, shock, takedown, control. Stopping by redirecting, avoiding, trapping the technique. Then you work your 5 anatomical areas for shocking or striking. You can work the muscular system for pinching or drilling, the skeletal system for bone bending. You can work the respiratory system for sealing breath, knocking the wind out of someone, concussion, a way to throw somebody on the ground, and a concussion knockout. We also work the central nervous system by working your applied pressure points. Again, you have a 12 points applied pressure at a basic level, 36 points at an advanced level. And then you work the circulatory system by sealing blood flow, and that would cover that. Then we work a throw, a sweep, a reap to get the person down to the ground. And then once the person's on the ground, you work a hold, a pin, a choke out, or a knockout to control the person on the ground. Let's go through the performance of Wansu. Wansu basically translates to Dragon Boy dumping form, or strong arm form. The 5 fundamental elements are emphasize the use of the left and right arm punches. We're starting to learn to punch off the left side, and we're of course working to punch off the reverse side, okay, working with the hips, the definite forward hip movement on that. So that's the second aspect, or fundamental element, is the definite forward hip movement. We always want the body to move into the technique to create more power. The next level is the embusin, or the foot pattern. You're starting to work 45-degree angles for the first time. The next level is the Kihon Waza, which is the basic technique. And then, of course, the last technique will be the correct dachi, or correct stance work, whenever you execute any form. In the previous form, you just worked 90 degrees. Now we're starting to work 45 degrees, and which will bring the whole body into play for working avoiding or any type of technique, and to create more folding action, more body action for the technique. Let's go ahead and perform Wansu. We'll take it nice and slow, and again, every form has a rhythm. Wansu! Wansu. Let's go ahead and work some application of the form. Application, let's work the, we have, again, basic level and advanced level. Let's go ahead and just work some of the advanced level. And again, this is my own interpretation. You could have your own interpretation. This just gives you kind of a guideline to work with. Everyone could be different, with working some of our technique. Let's have my good partner, Mr. Forrester, out here. Let's go through some of the basic technique. Mr. Forrester, come on over here. Let's go through the opening of the form, the mudra. The next motion. 1, 2, 3. So let's take a look at it this way. I'm turning the body this way so we can see the application. From here, basic interpretation, person steps in with a grab on the left-hand side. I strike, reinforce. Tatuyuchi, or hammer strike, to the arm. From here, stepping back into your front stance, strike left shote, reach around, pull the person, the attacker back, and you can apply a choking motion. Okay, that's disposing the attacker. We can work a variation off of that. Turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the next motion within the form. So we worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next motion within the form, we're going to come back off of this motion. 1, 2, off the low block and the roundhouse punch. Mr. Forrester, come on over here. Mr. Forrester steps in with a left front kick. High block, grab, takedown, leg lock, and of course we can work a choke off of that if you so desire. All right? Next motions within the form, 1, 2. Again, this is my interpretation. Person steps in with a right grab, block, strike, kite and nagi, bury the hand, and or work a figure 4 in this motion. Next motions within the form. So we're here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Person comes in with a left hand grab, 1, right hand grab, strike, strike. Take the person to the ground and work an arm bar in a seated position. All right. The next movement of the form, 1, 2, 3. Application. All right. Now, that was a series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do that 2 more times, like we did earlier, in the actual application, or actual running the form. And we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for your own interpretation. That's what you can act on that. That was my series. Break it down and have fun with it. It really is a lot of fun to work. Next series in the form, after this technique, we work 1, 2. So Forrester, and we're running from this side. Come on this way. Person comes in with a right front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee, strike, and back. One more time, Mr. Forrester. Ready? Go. Slip! Out! All right, come on over here. Next motion in the form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next moves will be here, but let's just keep it at this level. 1, 2, 3. All right? Mr. Forrester, let's bring it around this way again. Mr. Forrester comes with a two-handed grab. 1, 2, 3. and a Hasami or scissor choke. Let's look from this position, just a scissor choking motion. All right, and from here, next movement in the form. So we worked 1, 2, and then from here, 3, 4, 5. Mr. Forrester, come off of a 45-degree angle. Mr. Forrester, first of all, let's work our first motion. Mr. Forrester comes in with a right hand grab. I block, I strike. Pin, stovepipe, cross your legs. Doesn't cross his legs, finger locking motion off the same technique. Next technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mr. Forrester comes with a two-handed grab. 1, 2. Here's the break off of that, and then the strike to the body or the head. Then from here, 1, 2. Let's just work one of those. Mr. Forrester comes back, grabs. 1, or grab on this side. 2, it's the same motion, stepping back. 1, Mr. Forrester, grabs. 1, chopping, striking, or whatever from this position. And then again, you can work any type of application you want off of that. And then from there, double low block. And that's my interpretation of the form. Again, that's the great thing about Shuri-Ryu. Shuri-Ryu has many applications with any given technique. Many applications. If you run a proper form and you run it without changing anything, you'll figure all this out. You'll piece all this together. It just comes with repetition.